Good morning, guys. If you saw my last video, it was about putting the rabbits in something that was an unconventional cage. So here we are in front of my big row garden, and the pathways are getting out of control, and to me it feels like a huge waste of food to be taking those weeds and just cutting them down with a weed whacker. In comes Aivituvin. We have a duck/chick pen that they sent us, and lo and behold, very surprised. We absolutely love it. It's been super tough, super easy, and it's kept everything really safe and comfortable. So we asked them if they had one with wheels that we could put rabbits into to move the rabbits along the pathways in the garden. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you now. All right, as you can see, when you get one of these packages, it's not just one package, it's two packages, and they're pretty big packages. One is the run, one is the actual hutch itself. Alright, when you're putting these suckers together, it's nice to have a feed sack to put all the plastic into, or a big garbage sack works fine. You want a drill? And you want something to cut the box open with. That's pretty much all we used last time. Styrofoam will kill your animals. Make sure it doesn't go floating around your property. Chickens, ducks, anything eats it and it clogs up their intestines. Alright, so there's our hardware and there's our wheels. They actually look like pretty good wheels. I'm going to put those in the wheelbarrow so I don't lose where they are. Alright, so here's the instructions. Here's, it looks like maybe the handle that pulls it, but I'm not going to swear to that. So there we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. And you can see the wheels. At the other end you have the handles. I think I'm going to wait till Paige gets home to put the rest of this together. This is really her kind of thing. She loves it. So I'm going to wait for Paige. Graham. How are you? Okay, remember to use a light touch so you're not splitting anything.
This is our new rabbit hutch / chicken hutch that we have. It's from Aivituvin. I think that's how you pronounce it. And last night I put it mostly together. I still need to put a few latches on because I forgot and I was trying to figure out why there were extra latches. But this is how it usually looks. So you have a skylight in here, and then it's really nice because it's really pretty, and
their latches are raccoon proof.
Yeah, and then this is the holding bar.
Do you want to show how to lift it? Okay.
And it's really nice and small, and you can use it in your backyard. So Mom was wondering what this right here is. So I'll unless this, so you can look down in.
Cool. I was
trying to
wondering
figure out how it worked. And then you might be wondering why there isn't another silver part right here on the door. Is because this is spring loaded.
Oh, cool.
So you have to lock it back like that and then open this. And it's a very large door, and it was very hard to get these screws in right here.
And you had to be careful not to split them, huh?
Yeah. And not to round the screws or...
So, tell me, my favorite thing about these coops is that it has so many doors. Like, that all the coops have so many doors. Do you feel the same way, or am I just making it up?
I think it's very nice because you can get it in on all spaces. And I really like these type of latches where you have them like this.
Yeah,
and
raccoon
it goes
proof.
in, and then this was the hardest part. You have to align it very carefully. But there's a nest box, and then there's roosts and a catching tray, and then there's wheels back here for when you want to move them.
Yep, that's what makes it movable, and that's why I was so excited. It's why I recontacted Aivituvin after they sent me the other run, was because if you're going to have rabbits and you want them to graze, you've got to be able to move it. So what I want you to do is, instead of pushing, I want you to lift it up and pull it backwards. Let's see how easy it is. Don't lift it super, super high, just a couple inches, and then pull it towards you.
It's not on the wheels yet, though.
It is on the wheels. It's totally rolling. All right, go ahead and put it down. All right.
One of the confusing parts about this one that I didn't really like was I did not realize that that side had to be on that side. So I put it on this side, and that was not very fun. I had to take it all apart.
She was out here till like 11 o'clock at night last night, working by the light of the flashlight.
Yeah, I was using a flashlight to read the instructions and look for the screws that I dropped.
She was very determined. Very determined. It must have been a fun project though, because you worked on it for hours.
And then you can attach another one of these coops right here, which is why they have the dowels here. Instead of putting in this back piece and this bar.
Okay, hold on. Explain that again. Why?
Okay, so
why are there dowels?
Imagine this double the size with another coop over here.
Oh.
And that's why there's dowels. I was trying to figure out, and that was what was confusing me a lot, was because I was like, why are there dowels here? Why are there
And it connects it just a little bit to a different coop?
Yeah, and so you know how that other one has the connecting pieces that go...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be like that with another coop. This isn't supposed to be there if you have a second coop added on, and neither is this. So it won't be movable, but it does give you more room.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
then,
so... Yes, honey. Sorry, did I distract you?
The hatch over there was so hard because the lock over here is super difficult. And then this wall was warped because Mom left it out in the rain. But yeah, and then there's a tray in here that slides out for if you have chickens or rabbits or whatever in it. And then if we're gonna have rabbits in here, we probably won't have the support beams. And then for the ladder, there's a support, metal support.
Oh, cool.
down there.
So that right there.
It was so stinking hard because there's a piece of chicken wire right here that I had to bend because it was in the way of the bolt.
But it's very clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have it supported when you tried to lift this up and move
it would break.
It would drag
And
the little
it was
gangplank.
so hard to get this thing even. Like, you had to have everything flush in order for it to...
But how old are you?
15.
And you totally figured it out by yourself without Mom even setting foot out here?
You open the boxes. So
I opened the boxes and got them wet so they could get warped. High five. 15-year-old girl figuring it out.
And then this roof piece was a little harder because I tried to screw it in over here. But for some reason, these roof pieces are completely different sizes. So they have one side, the gap right here is longer. The other side is not as long
Uh-huh.
for some reason.
So it's specific.
Yeah, so I was having to move it around. I wasn't able to put the screw where it was supposed to. I had to put it over here.
Okay. Well, you
So-
did a good job. She didn't put the
Latches on this.
latches on these doors. She thought they had some extras.
Yeah. No, the screws are... I'm trying to figure out why they sent so many little screws. Usually they only send 1 or 2 extra.
Gotcha. Doing it by candlelight sounds like an adventure.
Doing it by sunlight is an adventure.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
The nice thing is they do give you a little pre-drill. If you guys can see that, the little pre-drill kind of shows you where to start, and then you can do all the others on your own. Remember to go super slow so you're not stripping it out.
Do you mean rounding? This is what happens when you send me to high school.
Stripping it out?
Stripping means you're stripping the bit.
Oh, I see.
Rounding it out is
Well,
rounding the...
that's right. No more public school for you. They're teaching you stuff.
I'm just saying, that's facts.
Okay, no rounding. Now that you know the word. Okay, good, good. All right, and then there's the next little pre-drill right there.
Which I love public school.
Yep, you do.
It just drives me nuts when people say the wrong thing.
Oh my goodness. Must continue to educate your poor dear mother.
Well, Kai gets irritated with me too. Because I'll tell her, that's not how you say that! That's a floor jack, not a jack stand. Same with Riker.
Yeah.
When he came over the other day with Sean, it was super funny because he knows a little bit about cars, but when he said this, I keep knocking into this thing, I was like, that's called a floor jack.
You're fine.
And this is called a jack stand. So,
good job. The first Aivituvin coop that we put together, it was really confusing what this thing was for and why they were having us put it over the nesting box. But what it is it's keeping rain from getting down into the nesting box. It's this little bit of a rain flap to redirect it down onto here and off rather than dripping from here and into the coop, which I think is very considerate. 2 inches by 3 or 4 inches maybe. The reason I want to use this instead of chicken wire is that the vegetation can come up through the holes. The chicken wire, it'll get pressed down. With this stuff, it won't get pressed down. The other thing I could do is wooden slats, but I have done wooden slats before and the animals dug themselves out. So this is a much better fix. It was protecting my plum tree. The goats got some of the bark and I had to cover it up with this mud to protect the tree from splitting, but I didn't want my dogs to eat it because it's not for internal things. What we're going to do next is put that wire behind Paige underneath the floor of the coop. Don't pull it. Don't pull it. All right, we got a nice little overlap all the way along. A little bit of an overlap on this side, but I don't have any overlap under the wheels. Can you still see?
Yeah.
Oh, darn it, I gotta work harder. Just be careful with this wood. It is super light. I think it's supposed to be cedar so that it doesn't rot and bugs aren't interested in it. So just be very gentle with a very low setting on your drill so that you are not splitting the wood.
we probably want to take him out.
I don't think we need to take them out. Bunnies can hop.
Yeah, but it's going to be like an obstacle course.
Yeah. Bunnies like to play. We'll leave them in
But-
for now. They'll probably chew on them too.
Yeah.
With these little hutches that have the slide out trays, cleaning is really the only issue. Unless you clean out the trays every single day, they get really messy really, really quickly. And so because I know we're not going to clean them out every day, what we're going to do is put down newspaper, and that way when we do clean it, all we have to do is roll up the newspaper, put it in the compost, and we're done. Because I know right now we're not going to come out and spray these trays out every day. If you're that kind of person, you could bring out a gallon jug of water every day, pull the tray out, wash the tray down, because pretty much unless you're washing it down, that's the only way to do it. And with these nesting boxes, as beautiful as they are, the animals do poop in them. Here, I'll show you. That's kind of cool, that whole, let's see if I can show them, that whole spring-loaded thing.
I was like, where is the latch?
Okay, so these nesting boxes, as wonderful as they are a little tricky to clean. The animals will poop in them or try to roost in them or whatever, and they get dirty. Oh, that's so cool. Did they think of everything?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they thought of everything. The other one didn't have that. It had hinges, and the hinges are nice because the door is quite heavy. But that's fantastic. They think of everything. Seriously, I love these guys. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get some just newspapers.
Yeah, I forgot to show you this.
Forgot to show me everything. All right, so with rabbits, they will find a poop corner and then they will always poop there. I don't know in this cage which poop corner they're going to choose. And because of that, I'm just going to load it up with newspaper and we're going to wait and see. And it will just save us a bit of a nightmare. This is better than some other kind of bedding like shavings or anything, because with shavings it lets the urine get down into the wood, but with the newspapers it kind of soaks it up and then you can roll it. So, Paigey, I think maybe we need some more newspaper. Cardboard would be better for this because it's more of a deterrent for urine. However, newspaper is just a little bit easier just to thump in and go. So it's easy to fold and just kind of plunk in. And knowing your own limitations as far as cleaning is really important in this kind of thing. Knowing I am not going to be somebody who's going to come out here and clean this every day. And because of that, I'm going to make it as easy on myself as I possibly can for when I do clean it, and so that it's not damaging the hutch. And in order to do that, I'm just going to put as much newspaper as I feel is going to work good. And then once they figure out where their potty corner is, then that's the only place you have to put newspaper at that point. They might not even potty in here. They might decide they want to potty out on the run. In the summer, I would recommend always having your venting open. Rabbits are nocturnal animals. With chickens, I would close them in at night with that little door, which I think is fantastic. But I'm not going to do that to rabbits. They can come out and run at night. The size of this wire is perfect because predators will actually reach through a fence to grab young animals. They can't reach through these. These are too small. And I love the multiplicity of doors. I just adore it. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here and put our little hay basket. And I'm probably going to raise it up on the inside like that and then just use zip ties. The reason for that is I want them to not play in it. When they play in it, when they treat it like a bed, they poop in it. So one of the problems is, how am I going to get food into it once I do that? How am I going to do that? So maybe it would be better to do it over there. So what I don't want to do is ratchet these zip ties down really hard. It is soft metal, so they're relatively loose, but I have it up high and a little unstable because I don't want the rabbits jumping up into the basket. I want them grazing on the hay and pulling it out of these little holes, which they do. So there's their food, there's their water. I think this really simplifies some of the housing difficulties that we have with our small animals. That being said, it's not bear proof. It's probably not an aggressive dog proof. I know some dogs can go through wire like that and they'll just chomp on it until it breaks and they'll get in and kill your rabbits. So if you have something like a bear, you know, this is not going to work for you. Us, we have raccoons and possums and skunks and coyotes and dogs and cats and bobcats and things like that. And this will be just fine for those critters that we have. If it works really well, I'm just going to start customizing the width of my garden paths to accommodate this. And if they don't send me another one, I'll probably buy another one just because I think I'm really going to like them. And they have one other one that's on wheels that I think is a little bit bigger, but I wanted the small one, again, because of the width of my paths. So hopefully that was helpful, and we'll talk to you later. The wildest one we have?
Yeah. I didn't handle him as much as I did his brother.
Yeah.
Which is the black buck that we sold.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to put him in the nest box.
Oh, you're not putting them on this side?
No.
Oh, because you want to use the little doodad.
No, I want you to be able to see it completely.
Gotcha.
Alright, bud. Come on out. I know. It's freaking you out. Look at... Buddy. He's scared. There we go. And there he goes.
What are you doing?
He's like, this was scary.
Okay, make sure that the other one that you bring out is the female, not the male, so they don't fight.
Yeah. And you can stay out here and watch him through the side window.
All right. So mamas will stay in their cages, and we'll do our best to find a way to give them a run that is not on the ground. We'll keep working on that. But for the juveniles, this is a pretty good option, I think. See how they do. We already know they're super, super healthy, and that they do well with forage and hay and sunflowers and wheat. That they're just not picky. So we'll see what he thinks of being out here. He should be pretty happy, especially once we get the female out here. And we'll see. Can we breed him out here? Will she make a nest? Will he be too aggressive and hurt babies? We'll just see how it goes. It's one of the black ones, right?
Yep, it's the Rex.
If you're going to introduce rabbits from different batches, you want to do it at the same time. You don't want to introduce one rabbit into the other rabbit's hutch. You need to have them both be strangers to the hutch so that they're not territorial. And even so, sometimes they'll still be dominant against each other.
He's brave enough.
Mm-hmm. Or he's just nervous because we just put a new rabbit in, so he wants a little bit of privacy. All right, you can put the bag up. Is there anything else that needs to be put up?
I don't think so.
All right.
Except for the drill.
Okay, go ahead and go put the drill up then. Thanks, honey, for your help.
I can tell I've been tracking for too long.
You've been what?
Tracking for too long because my heart's starting to speed up.
Gotcha, I'm sorry. Make sure to put the battery on the charger, okay? It does give them a little bit of dappled shade from that plastic on the top. And again, if it was to rain, it would totally protect them while they're out on the run. And he just found his food in the back, so that's good news.
Hey guys, so here is where this pair of rabbits goes to the bathroom right here. You can see it just a little bit if the bars weren't in the way. So, and I see that they tipped out their food again.
Okay, next.
So the rabbits are in the hutch right now. Kylie, hang on.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting right here.
Over here.
Over here? Okay. Oh, good idea. They're right in that back corner. I don't know if you can see them or not. Okay, there we go. They also have a little bit of a poop corner in this corner.
Just depends on the rabbit. So I'm gonna show you how this handlebar works.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
There's a sliding panel door that this controls. So you push in to close it. Hi, spider.
Here, I gotta get around.
Push.
Here, do it again.
Close.
You'll have to do it again.
Pull to open. Push to close. And there goes the back. And there goes my hat. So now I will show you how you move it. And you do not want to push this, or else
You will break everything.
Break it. Pull it forward a little bit, and then you can see over here where they have eaten it all right here.
There's very little weeds right here compared to over here. See that?
And you can tell they've tipped out their food.
Yeah.
So
Next thing on the list.
now we feed and water them. Well, we see if they need food and water, which they don't need water. They do need food. So we put a little bit of food in there.
The locks on here are,
Spring loaded. These ones are.
and want to show them this lock? These ones, it took us a second to figure out.
They are predator proof. And she's wanting to say hi.
Hey girl.
Alright, so I will show you how we let them out. So we just pull and let it stand up. Here's another one of the spring-loaded latches. But since it's connected to their hay basket, we can't open it very much as it stretches. So, yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think
Look at the list.
that's it. So,
Okay.